Everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We've got a 6,240-pound Springdale 266RL behind us. It's about 30 feet, almost on the nose, tip to tail, living room super slide, couple chairs in the back, big U-dinette in case you have some guests over, lots of windows to give it a big feel. And I tell you what, this is going to be a way to beat the budget blues compared to a lot of the new things that are out there right now with the way pricing has been this season. Pretty nicely kept overall, and actually like an upgraded smart TV, a larger refrigerator put in this after it was originally built, and I can't really detect anything significant, I would say, that is out of the ordinary for something of this age. It looks, I would say, above average. It looks pretty darn good. You got a half-ton pickup, you're looking for something you want to leave park somewhere or do some towing, I think this would be a really nice fit for some people. I tell you what, first impressions I think mean a lot. My first impression of this was pretty positive. Like, you notice how all the window shades are drawn. Now, the folks might have done that just for privacy, but that is really the best way to travel with pleated nightshades. You kind of want to leave them in the down position. It helps avoid them from coming down like half cocked sideways one way or the other, which can actually really stress those lines. The other thing is, you'll see that when you travel, you need to turn the chairs on this one. And they actually took the time not just to do that, but to also strap them down to make sure the chairs didn't accidentally bounce and walk behind the slide fascia and get busted or break something when the slide was opened up. So everything, like, you know, it's been pretty well kept. It's, you know, it doesn't smell like people. Like, decent people own this. They took decent care of it. Like, they did the right things. That's the kind of stuff that I see and I feel and I try to explain on a video, but you can't always see and feel it until you come see it in person. I've got good vibes coming out of this one already. Yeah, the more I go through this thing, I got pretty good feels on it. I mean, used, not abused. And like I said, I think above average. You're gonna hear me say this isn't that solid above average category. This is in pretty good shape considering the year. It was used on a regular basis. It's not all beat up. Central air in the ceiling, central heat through the floor. I'm going to point out a couple little points of interest or points of consideration as we go. I don't see anything too major. I'm not going to point out anything that I think is kind of ordinary for the model year, you know, something that shows some usage. Like if you had a car of this age, it's going to show a little bit of wear here and there, say like on an armrest. Like one of the little things I noticed, the little kind of slide fascia corner cap that is just kind of stapled up in the corner there. You can see that that's popped off. The other one's in place, you'll see that. But is very light cosmetic thing. I think what I do is I'd get some kind of like wood glue. I'd put that back up and then, you know, you'd kind of be none the wiser sort of situation. This is a sleeper sofa. It does flip open. It's not a trifold like we'd find in today's market. That is a little bit of a classic airbed style hide-a-bed. I will also tell you, if you do plan to use that, it is my advisory after years of experience to plan on just getting a new bladder for the airbed, basically. Get a new mattress. You can get those cheap from, try to find them at like the local store if you can. Try to support your local business. If you don't have a good outlet for that, you can always hit up Amazon as a backup plan. That's kind of my general thing. I try to take care of whoever's local first. Even if it is a chain store, I try to take care of that just to help my, you know, the people that I see and live with every single day, the people that eat at a restaurant with me. Taking a look at this is a little bit interesting. Let me actually start up here for you. Crack that open. Some storage around the entertainment center, but notice how that TV spins around right there. Something else I noticed that would have been easy to miss. That is not the original factory television. That's a TCL Roku TV, which means it's a smart TV. Roku smart TV, basically. So that is one of the upgrades on this above and beyond the factory standard I picked up. And notice that big free floating table there. You can fold it down into a sleeper, which chances are instead of the hide-a-bed, you probably just use that dinette because it's actually larger and longer anyway. It's like almost 7 foot long. And that's another thing. This is technically called, and the model number's honestly kind of baffling, it's a 266RL-SSR. And that's a lot of silly numbers and letters and stuff, but SSR means super slide room. So at the time this was built, campers either had a nice hide-a-bed and a 2-bench dinette, or a small crappy little sofa and a big U dinette. And this has both. So it's a longer, bigger slide out that most things built during this time did not have. Now that concept has since been adopted by some other builders, but it was really uncommon, unconventional, almost unheard of at the time this came together. One of the other things I noticed here over in the kitchen space, that is not the original refrigerator, which is a good thing in this case. That is actually 33% larger. That's an 8 cubic foot gas electric fridge as compared to a normal factory standard 6 cubic foot that was in this when it was brand new. I mean, they matched the wood perfectly. They actually might have reused the inserts. I'm not sure about that. I noticed they just had to trim the that up there a little bit. And I almost overlooked that. And just having been familiar with Springdales from years ago when we did carry them here, I kind of picked up on that. Larger 22-inch oven, also something almost completely unheard of in this class and segment. If I get that open for you, you can see these are one of the very few people I've seen that actually used the oven. It's incredible how few people actually do that. Now, they use the oven, but it doesn't look bad. Like the microwave, the refrigerator, those things still look pretty good. I don't see any major areas of super concern there. Again, the RV was used. They're supposed to be used. It seems like some people either use campers to death and don't take care of them, or they don't use them at all and get rid of them. These folks actually used it like you're supposed to and just decided to swap up to a fifth wheel after taking care of this thing for a few years. Now, the bathroom's pretty straightforward. I like to show you, there's not a big collection of like dead ladybugs in the medicine cabinet or anything like that. And it is mirrored. It's not broken. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. There's no cracks on the glass there. I'm just showing you around. A couple handy little like paper towel or, maybe just hand towel kind of holders that they put in here. And I noticed they put in, on this porcelain foot flush stool, a little bit of a toilet riser just to make getting up and down a little bit easier. Simple, smart little upgrade that is available, frankly, in almost any RV that very few people bother doing, but a lot of people say they really like. One of those kind of conundrums that always sort of surprises me a little bit there. We're 6.5 foot tall inside, which means that if you're bigger like me at about 6'3", your head will be in the skylight, but it can actually fit in there. Now, something else I want to show you, you see that little black cloth lane right there. You'll see something similar in the bedroom outside entry door. They basically blacked out the vents. You see how they put some foil up there to act like a little heat reflector. Again, I suspect that the folks probably just kept all the shades drawn and everything, just trying to keep it as, cool, calm, quiet as they could in here. Remember, like you saw a second ago, this TV can spin around to the bedroom, by the way, and it's mirrored on the backside, so you can see what you look like before the neighbors do when you walk out in the morning. I don't care, though. When I go camping, I'm wearing pajama pants. I got a bag of dog poop from walking my dog in my hand in the morning. I'll walk right out there. I'll talk to the neighbors. I'll get to know the seasonal people. I don't know. I enjoy conversating with folks. Then again, working in this industry, I'm always kind of half working, wondering if somebody's looking for a trade when I'm out there. So, maybe I've got some ulterior motives. This door, you can see how the window was blacked out. That does have a deadbolt, by the way. If you don't want that door to work, just leave it deadbolted. Some people get weird about there being a door for access into the bedroom. Just shut it down. You can lock it down, leave the steps closed. It's not that big of a deal unless you make it a big deal, I suppose. That's my 2 cents. What do you guys think about that? Everybody has a little bit different variant opinion there. And again, certainly above average is really kind of my general mantra, I guess, on this one. Everything like the decals, the skin, stuff on the outside, a little bit better than the average bear for this year. Not flawless. It was actually used, but it wasn't abused, Like you can see a couple little spots in there where maybe the hitching that the previous owners had might have left a little grease spot or something on the carpet in the pass-through, but it's in the pass-through. It's not in your living area. I get that it's not ideal, but it's also not hurting anything. It is saving you a little bit of money, though. This, pardon me. I literally think I just choked on thin air. Power awning, upgraded aftermarket power tongue jack, and factory 4-corner power stabilizer jack. So everything on this is push-button simple. The underbelly is enclosed and forced air heated, by the way. That's one of the things that this brand was a little bit ahead of the curve on, I think. Interesting note, like you see those nicely tinted windows there, and the tires down below. That's something I was going to tell you about. I don't believe this had aluminum wheels when it was brand new. I could be wrong. This was right on a little bit of a cusp for the Springdale group when they started doing that. But I noticed that one of the tires was a Goodyear Marathon. Some of the tires were Tomax tires. So at some point, a tire's been swapped out here. I know the factory didn't use Goodyears. Like, that's a Goodyear spare on the back. I have a suspicion that the folks might have suffered a flat tire or a bad tire maybe at some point, swapped it out for some newer things, including that spare back there. But one of the things that I checked, because these are the two tires I notice are mismatched, and I don't know if I can shove the camera in here in a way that you're going to be able to see it well. But the first thing I said is, uh-oh, are we going to see a bunch of damage in that wheel well? And no, as you can see, you don't. So I don't know if the tire just went bad or went flat when it was just sitting there, but the good news is I don't see like damage from it as a result or anything like that. Now this does have a walkable roof. There is not a ladder on the back, so I'm just gonna kind of put my camera on a broomstick and wave it up there and let's see what we can see. Let me know what you think, guys. Leave a comment below. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job taking care of it. I like the, you know, the little things like to block out some of the light to keep it cooler inside. The bigger refrigerator and the nicer TV, those are something I think everybody will enjoy. I think that those are things that you would take for granted, though, had I not taken the time to point that out. I hope you appreciate the little bit of effort that we put into these, because I don't see other people doing used RV videos, which maybe somebody does. I don't know. I don't see it. I just always want to make sure that when you folks come in, especially on a used RV that's you know, been around the block a couple times, you have a reasonable understanding of what you're walking into before you get here. So as always, if you need financing, you need hitching or parts, we can do all that. We're family owned and operated, and we'd love the chance to work with you. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.